Hello and welcome back to Sunless Sunday, where we sail the Sunless Sea with me, Bardon, and Lady Sakura. Okay, let's get going. And we can get back to the surface. So we've been to Scrimchandler. We now know next time we go there, we need to bring coffee. And not just some coffee, lots of coffee. Okay, next we're going to go to Nutmit. Hey there, Mr. Brown Shark. You maybe stay over there. That would be appreciated. Okay, and we can dock here. I think we didn't have time for the thing to tell us that there was something awaits, but port will be fine for now, I think. What's your comings and goings? Not so many goings. Ships from the Shellnate are most common, but you see Shellnate vessels. Polythreme triremes with chained and sulky unfinished men. Corsairs dispose of their miscreants. Even one furtive Ireme skiff. The wardens pay them well for their prisoners. Okay, and then we could buy very expensive stuff there, but I don't think we will, so let's head off. So next we're going to head to Nook, so kind of in this direction. Okay, so from Nook, then we're going to be going up to Nuncio, right? Yeah. And then zigzagging up that way? Yeah, gotcha. Whew. Won't be long before we're going to see some things that we may or may not want to fight. And that's going to make things interesting, I think. Not far out from where we can dive for Nook either. Let's get under now. If we don't run into anything too scary down there. Let's chop with dark waters. The ironclad are feet at the hatchway. Yeah, we're not too far away. No giant underwater spiders, please. Burning blue. Here's a horror from the lookout. The glim lamp at the front of the ship is spluttering and arcing, fizzing with blue light. Even as you watch, the blue fades, but it's not a good omen. Well, at least we can attempt to calm them. The darkness underneath is more than the absence of light. It's a physical presence which distorts the shape of the world. Your light melts the darkness, restores sanity to the world. You explained something of this to your sailors. It's not the first time they've heard it, but they seem slightly less nervous. Okay, and let's get in. The edge of Nook. Okay, luckily we have a cask of mushroom wine for this. A gap in the colossal sea monster's throat has been forced open with thick heart metal beams. They strain under pressure, but hold. As you pass through the submarine, lights pass over a message carved in a floating piece of some unfortunate's hull. Beyond is Nook, beyond is freedom, beyond is... The rest is scratched out. Okay, let's return to Nook. You have the measure of the place now. You have learned that the liberal ingestion of wine before a visit increases your tolerance for Nook water. Undressing for adventure. Again, you remove your clothes and put them safely in the watertight diving suit compartment. As the water rushes in, you're ready, taking gulps to speed the transition. It feels less like drowning now, and more like baptism. You swim into Nook and with skin and mind tingling, reborn in the airlock's cold steel. Okay. Let's get our port report first. No one here has anything to hide. Actually, no one here is hiding anything at all. Notes on Nook. A vile place, festering, acidic. No laws but those of tooth and claw written in scars. Civilization? Impossible. Making tea would be a logistical impossibility. Yet the inhabitants seem content. Many have come here from London, the Khanate, the Presbytery, abandoning cultured life for this tenuous existence. They grin, their mouths full of stolen flesh, or float naked and careless. Many have nothing, and nothing to lose. A group of swimmers dart past, hunting gleefully. One squeezes your shoulder, companionably. You've never met her before. Okay. Then 55%. Take from the week. I don't want to do that. Let's swim. Let's swim downward to this rated abyss. And then downwards again to the bilious cleft. So for there we need 5. A memory of Nook, you have 1. Okay, so we have to work on that. Few Nook folk swim this deep, where the water is foggier than a London pea super. Foul gas bubbles up from the beast's gut, acidic enough to sting your eyes. Search for phosphorescent nodules. The Nook folk use them for light and guard them closely. When they do drop them, though, the nodules stink down here, glowing between the teeth. Snap, snap. Not a nodule, not a nodule. Instead, it was the lambent eye of a giant leech creature, which almost bit your fingers off. You managed to wrestle it into submission. It seems the Nook folk are not the only ones to call Nook home. Okay, so we've got 5 terror. We gained 1 Nook tolerance. New total 11. And 1, okay, and we got a life specimen. Cool. Now let's swim up. Trade solace fruit for phosphorescent nodules. They will be a rare treat for the Nook folk. Okay, let's try that. As expected, the Nook folk flock to take all the fruit you have to offer. They freely give up their nodules for a taste of delightful juice. Okay, we lost 1 Nook tolerance for Nook water. We gained 20 Nook phosphorescent nodules, so 23. Let's swim up to the Ripper Throat. No, we don't want to take from the weak, thanks. Let's swim up again to the Great Maw. Pretty modest challenge. Join some tooth miners. Sometimes treasures can be found caught in the teeth. Okay, let's try that. In the darkness, your pickhook finds a wide cavity. Light shines forth. It is stuffed with a cluster of phosphorescent nodules that the deeper Nook folk treasure. You scoop out an armful before the rest of the tooth miners swarm in. Okay, succeeded in a Nook Taste of Freedom challenge. 8 more Nook phosphorescence, 31 now, 2 fuel, good. 1 Nook, a memory of Nook, new total 2. And we lost 1 tolerance, okay, for Nook water, so we have 6 left. Right, let's investigate the etched tooth house. A filthy latitudinarian keeps its upper cavities filled with compressed air, allowing a number of activities otherwise impossible in watery Nook. The external surface of the tooth is covered with engravings, rows of battling soldiers, some with the heads of dogs, a mountain ablaze, ships riding on a river. and each ship has a human mouth. You swim inside and up to chambers with eggy air. So we don't have recent news, so we need to remember recent news for you. In the cavities of the etched toot home, trapped air pockets allow an activity largely forsaken in Nook, conversation. Handful of Nook folk gather there to reminisce brevity. Brevity is admired, the air is precious and rapidly foul. The latitudinarians watches and listens. He keeps a merciless peace within his house. Cares not a damn for what happens outside. Okay, so we need recent news for that. Let's return to the Great Maw. Back into the Nook water. Back out to the Great Throat. Okay, let's swim down. Return to a submarine. Let's attempt to mingle with the Nook folk. They may be friendlier now that you're fashionably undressed, lost in freedom. They acknowledge your presence, but little more. Most shrink back, assuming you mean harm. Others deliberately swim just above you in a crude attempt at intimidation. They carry bone knives or two-tipped spears. A few gestures to you in welcome, invitation, is unclear. The slightly gluttonous water makes speech impossible, so the natives have developed a language of signs. You can interpret the most basic, finger pulled across the throat, for example. It's one of the more polite invitations to depart. Okay, yeah, time to go, I think. Let's return to the submarine. Yep, and then let's return to our crew. The air is uncomfortable in your throat, cold, thin. The crew murmurs as you pass. Your buttons are an irritation. You abandon the last 3. Your collar itches intolerably. You tug it loose. You are perhaps not regulation straight as you proceed to your quarters. Everything all right, m'lady? The crewman asks wearily. Okay, so 5 terror for the crew. Okay. Right, and then we do have shops here. We can sell our bolts of spider silk. I think we'll do that. And we can buy fuel, which I think would be a good idea. Let's first of all buy some supplies. Okay, and then buy the rest in fuel. Okay, that should be good for us. Sell our, why would you sell our Stygian ivory for 0? Don't get that. Right, well, it's time for us to go anyway, so let's do so. Then we can, as quick as we can, get up to the surface. So from Nook, we're heading north, right? Or east and slightly north to Nuncio. Okay. Ah, nice relaxing music. I don't realize it's only when music like this, especially this music actually in particular, comes on in games and stuff, that I realize like that it just kind of relaxes you. Tension goes out of the shoulders and just kind of feel more comfortable with everything. It's great. Okay, let's get a port report here. Those who live here deserve a better justification in the eyes of the world. The Admiralty won't understand, but you can do your best to explain it all anyway. The theology of postal work, the pull. the scarred obedience of postmen, the attention to detail that is both petty and sacred, the anguish, the camaraderie among the sufferers, the willingness to endure visitors, even visitors who do not understand their tribulations and ask foolish, ill-informed questions. Okay, so wow, we've got 65 members of Distant Shore. Probably should be selling some of those or using them to do something anyway. Let's explore the beach. There's a long stretch of shale dotted with washed up kegs and barrels and smaller flotsam. Shifty going, the rock slips and slithers underfoot, but you keep your balance. Okay. Let's rescue a parcel that won't stop meowing. Extraordinary. There aren't even any air holes. How? The parcel's contents are not at all pleased to make your acquaintance. A yellow glare, a flash of claws, a distinctive odour. Then the horrible animal is out of sight. You'd like to believe it will come to regret mauling you, but alas, it's likely to regret this rat-infested island. To regard this rat-infested island as a paradise. Your left cheek will never be quite the same. Okay, so we gain 5 terror. Not good. Let's collect material for the dead letter's office. Wheel of its own. You make your way along the shore with a big sack. Many of the envelopes are too damp to read. Their addresses permanently lost, but a surprising number are still legible. There are also parcels. Here and there is a crate, a message in a wine bottle, a sealed cask that has bobbed up out of a shipwreck. Your sack ought to get heavy with all these contents, but it pulls upward and away, straining inland towards the dead letter office, like an unmanageable dog even. Okay, let's go back. Then we can do a shift. It seems to be the chief occupation hereabouts. The bell chimes above the door. The fellow manning collections looks awake for half a second when you come in, till you realize you're here to relieve him. Okay, let's feed our stuff in. Yeah, we didn't spend enough time getting here, I guess. Need to slow down a bit. Feed your undeliverable letters into the sorting machine. 52 categories. After prolonged whirring, the machine begins to distribute 7 invitations edited in gilt into the correspondence of the aristocracy slot. 2 oversized parcels, probably containing books, into the books tray. 1 stamped bronze tablet that drops with a clang into a bin marked First City. Also rat watches. All of this with an air of satisfaction. Okay, and let's end the shift. And I think, yeah, shops wise, we're not going to do anything. So I think we're going to end the video there as well. So I hope you have enjoyed. Hope to see you all next time. Goodbye. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, maybe you'll hit the subscribe button there on the right and check out some other videos here on the left.